All right, here we go.
All right. The first item on the list is sorry, I got this one. I got this particular item last night, and I wasn't even in council. So, and it made me snicker. And then I thought, okay, well, I get these little things all the time. And of course, that ends up being the first one on the list when I went into council. It is, does this manifestation make my butt look big?
Oh my God.
All right.
Okay.
Yay.
I don't even know.
This one is deep.
But
Yeah.
This is deep. The obvious one is, can you directly manifest if you're worried about your butt looking big?
no,
No.
Okay.
we're worried
Yeah,
about.
it's like blocking a flow.
Yeah.
We're worried about what other people are going to think of you.
Right.
Or, yeah,
And what else is an important component of that first item?
asking other people's opinion.
Approval.
That look big.
Would you say?
Seeking approval.
Seeking approval. Okay, so that you're seeing that, but what's another big component of the whole thing?
That there's some ideal way that I need to be.
Appearance.
Okay.
Outward shell. Yeah.
Okay.
Vanity.
All right.
Okay.
You're looking at the object of it, but
Does my butt.
what did we first do when we heard it?
Giggle. Laugh.
Humor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Humor.
Yeah.
And that's, it goes on. I had to leave a space because I tried to write in that space and it wouldn't let me. It's saying, no, that's where all the stuff that's in there, it's in that space, empty space. Because this one is so much deeper than that. It's the secret to manifesting.
Joy. Lightheartedness. Laughter. Humor. Like fun. Not being heavy and overthinking everything and worrying about everything.
Yeah. Yes.
All of that. And asking somebody else for what.
Yeah, you're on the right track.
You know inside of you what it's like. Does my butt look big? It's like, you know whether your butt's big or not. Why are you asking somebody else if your butt's
Yeah. Do you ask questions that you already know the answer to? Or do you ask questions because you're truly looking for an answer?
Oh, yeah. True. Typically, that would be a question where you just want someone to say it looks good. You know? Yeah. You want someone to give you compliments.
We're peeling back the layers now. There's more.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend a lot of time on that one, but that one's, I was laughing and then I was going, oh, I didn't think about that when I first heard that. Oh, wow. So
that's true.
So that's something to sit with.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting.
I have a lot coming up about that one.
Yeah.
Just about, outward appearance.
Yeah. This one's got a lot of deep underground things embedded in it. And it's to each his own.
Yeah.
So not everyone's going to be the same. There'll be some similarities, but
wow, I can feel that energy in my body. It's like
me too. Yes.
Feeling it. Mars is like it also is about a lot about too putting other people on the spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by asking somebody else does my butt look big? You're putting them in a really precarious
you're
position.
Manipulating somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into then manipulating you.
Yeah, wow.
Unless you ask someone who's going to say, it looks huge. Your butt looks huge.
Oh, you wait. You just wait. This one, this one has got so much in it.
Yeah, that's wild.
You could sit here and think, I got it last night, and I still haven't hit the bottom of it.
Wow.
Like I said,
isn't it just the simple things that really can show you so much?
Yeah. Now, we can come back and revisit this if we have more time, but let's get to the other ones because you know how the last two have gone. Okay, so here we go. The next one is Holding on to what you think is thinking the hold right into place.
Say that again.
Holding on to what you think is thinking the hold right into place.
It's putting yourself like in a box, another box, because it's not keeping your mind open, kind of, I guess.
What is?
Like whatever you're thinking, whatever that thought might be, whatever, if it's a fixed thought, I guess, you know, I don't have an example right now, but just that then you're not leaving room for expansion, kind of, if you're holding on to that, what you're thinking about.
It's everything you've ever thought.
Yeah. Yeah, holding that thought.
This one is very deep too.
Yes, it is. Yeah, because my mind's going like different directions in it. It's, yeah. Holding on to what you think
is thinking the hold right into place.
Yes. Yes, because we think and we create what it is. So we are projecting out through our thinking mind, like we're projecting out through a screen.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you say, okay, I read it to you, and you say, I understand that. Think about what you just did. You cul-de-saced it.
Yeah, exactly.
Ended it. No
Yeah.
discovery to be made.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about how deep that is.
That is really deep.
That's why, you know, what's been coming to me is don't conclude. Don't conclude anything.
Leave everything open.
Yeah. Yeah, don't conclude.
But that's hard to do.
It really is.
It makes you stop in the moment. If you can start doing that about anything and everything, you don't have to stop doing them.
Right.
Make yourself consider what you're doing and other options that you've previously written off.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that one's kind of unveiling in different directions for me right now.
So we can come back and visit these.
Wow.
Because I got more.
Wow. My mind will be jello.
I know.
I know. I was going to say, you're trying to twist us up tonight.
Wow.
Just float. Just float, baby. Float.
Always. Always.
So the next one is all your answers are buried inside you, and all the things outside are shovels.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Totally. Digging for those stones and treasures.
Yes.
Yep.
And answers don't come from outside.
No.
They're all inside.
They're just things that that are to be used to dig inside you. That's
I just got from Blue's Clues. It's a clue.
Exactly. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, because then that makes you, that completely reverses the importance, what we put importance on, you know. The things outside of us is not important to go find something or fix something or figure out the answer on the outside of us. The importance is here. And whatever comes in, it's a tool, and you go, okay, well, I'll use that. Oh, well, that shovel's gone. So, here's a a broom. Well, now there's versus holding on to something and being like, I've got to know that way. You're leaving.
Well, what you think of what's important externally is exactly what we talked about.
Yeah.
Holding you in place.
Yeah. Exactly. So beliefs, it goes back, and what it comes is it goes back to your beliefs.
Yep.
Beliefs. Anytime you believe something, you lock it down.
Yep.
And if we don't, and then we defend that belief, we're locking it down even more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to come back to some of these.
Yeah.
Because the story gets
building
better.
on each other.
Yeah. Okay, the next one is to break the surface of your troubled waters, dive into nothing.
The void. I keep hearing the void. I don't know. It's an echo.
We're echoing or you're echoing?
When I'm talking, I hear an echo. I don't know if it's from where you guys are. Maybe not.
A little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't at first. It's better. I don't hear it now.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, so let me read that again.
Okay.
To break the surface of your troubled waters, dive into nothing.
To me, that feels like just shut it all down and stop when anything's happening that's troubling you, like, or anything that's going on. Like I used to just freak out. How am I going to fix it? This, what am I going to do? And now it's like, nope, it's all going to be okay. I stop and trust and just let it all happen.
Yeah, what I'm feeling when you say surface, I'm thinking surface tension, water droplet. You know how the water droplet won't go down into the thing if there's surface tension. So there's something around that that's pinging me about this.
Okay. So when I got this first, and I'm still going through it, but when I first got it, the surface of say, any water, the surface of the water, I'm thinking of like an ocean. You're right, there's a tension there. But there's a tension from both sides. There's a tension when you say break. Typically, when you say break the surface, that's going from air into the water. Okay, so to break the surface, basically to break into your surface, dive into nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's also a surface from this side. So to free yourself, dive into nothing. What is nothing?
Setting aside your thoughts and beliefs and all of that stuff that we've just talked about.
Clearing it out, like clearing all the programming.
Yes, that's part of it. That's a symptom, or that's a cause. That's an effect of the what you instigate as a cause. The act of you diving and choosing to dive into nothing is it basically you're freeing all the anchors holding you in place.
Letting go of all the attachments.
Or what anyone thinks, or what you were gonna do, or what you should do, or it's don't. I mean, you talked about your planner. It's don't plan. It's just do it. Just do what you feel is what feels right to you.
Use your internal GPS, emotional guidance system.
Yeah, there's more there.
Yeah,
there's totally more there.
This one I still have question marks on and wondering why the placement. So that one I'm still getting. So I probably won't get it till I get through the rest of the list.
What's coming for me right there too is the space. You know how you get tethered, it keeps you from like going out but you're dive like an astronaut, like going out into space, how you're tumbling and you're free floating. And
I think you're getting it because you're getting into some of this stuff
there's something there related.
So I think these are all of these are linked together. So I think you're onto something there, but like each one, they're multifaceted.
Right. Yeah.
So,
wow.
All right.
Being okay with free falling.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing that, and we'll get to something here that will address that, but yes, it's very important. But we're tied to the surface because we let ourselves be tied to the surface by all our thinking and giving up our power. So think about what that would signify, diving into nothing. All right, so the next one is, I found more from not looking than I ever did find from looking. bringing the calmness of not looking inside the search for you. So let me read that again.
Okay.
I'm trying to break it down when I read it. I found more from not looking than I ever did find from looking, bringing the calmness of not looking inside the search for you.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, because it's the observer effect is what I get. When we look, we...
Yeah. What's the first thing you tell someone who says, I can't find my keys, I've looked everywhere? What do you tell them? Stop looking.
Mm-hmm.
Stop looking and it'll come to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why do we say that? You ever thought, why do we say that?
Yeah, because it's a different part of us that finds.
We take the pressure off.
Mm-hmm.
We take the pressure off and we go into a calmer state.
Mm-hmm.
When we go into that calmer state, we're more receptive to signals.
Yeah.
And the answer is inside you.
Mm-hmm.
You know where everything is that you've touched. You know where everything is.
Yes, that's true.
I do that like at least every day, where I'm like looking for something and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, let me just chill out, and then I find it immediately as soon as I chill out.
You've just cluttered it up with a bunch of other stuff. So think about what that one's saying.
Yeah.
When you're trying to in life figure out who you are, even from a young age, you're like you're looking outside of you to try to figure out who you are, and it's once you realize you stop looking, it's like you come to yourself.
Yeah. I found more from not looking than I ever did find from looking, bringing the calmness of not looking inside the search for you. Bringing bringing that calmness of not looking inside the search for you,
right?
But also inside the search for you.
Yeah, it's both.
So much.
Plus, like we were talking about, if you're not looking outside, but also to some degree, I'm feeling it's not being so analytical inside either. So it's bringing that calmness inside, because so many times we are beating up ourselves, we're critiquing ourselves, we're worried about things inside of ourselves, versus just being calm and letting the real you emerge, or letting the real intuition emerge. So it's applied to both outside and inside.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the first sentence says, I found, and it's more from not looking than I ever did from looking. So the emphasis is on looking, and then bringing the calmness of the not looking inside. The emphasis on this whole thing is the search for you.
Yeah.
It's okay to wonder, but once it turns into a search
and pressure,
what is it?
Yeah,
it's like desperation.
Yes.
Yeah. Pressure. And there's also from the observer effect piece, they're kind of defining, you're looking from what you know, not all the possibilities that might be out there. So it should links back to your thoughts. The thinking that you do is, holds that into place. So when you're thinking outside or inside, searching that way, then you're limiting your options and possibilities.
Yeah.
It's like chasing versus attracting.
Yes. Yes. I mean, a lot of people have read about the law of attraction, but do they really get it? I have to admit, I'm still grappling with it.
I totally get it. And I know, and the art of allowing, I'm starting to really get. But the law of attraction, I've been attracting negative crap my whole life when I used to think about negative crap. And, if you focus on things you don't like, you're going to always get more of what you don't like. So once I realized that, I was blocking myself. I get the concept completely of law of attraction. Art of allowing is something I'm working on.
Yeah. All right. So the next one, strap on your gear. Okay, here we go. If things in the mirror may be closer than they appear, and the eyes are the windows to the soul, might the eyes in the mirror see your soul through your fear? Whew,
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, man. I just got the chills. Woo!
Yes. Yeah, and the mirror work is very powerful.
This one has magic upon magic. Whoa, man! I just getting some. Look at the chills on my legs. Man,
standing up.
All right, let me read this again because this has got all kinds of magic in it.
Yeah, it does.
If things in the mirror may be closer than they appear, and the eyes are the windows to the soul, might the eyes in the mirror see your soul through your fear?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, and you can't deny it. You can't.
No.
If you've done mirror work, you can't lie.
No.
I mean, you when you look yourself in the eye, in the mirror,
okay,
it shows yourself.
That's one aspect.
Yeah.
But what are all the people around you?
Mirrors.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Wow.
So
they see you. Clear.
Might the eyes in the mirror
see
past your fears?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're all telling you what you need to hear. They're just they may not be good communicators, and they may have their own crap that they're dealing with, but they're telling you and showing you what you need to hear. We just don't like to pay attention, and we don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
That directly correlates with what I've been going on, what's been happening this week to me, or in my life, what I've created in my life this week. All these mirrors showing me what I don't want to be like anymore. You know, things I don't like about myself anymore, that I want to shed and change, and that I don't want to be, I just don't want the things about me that I don't like anymore, you know, myself.
Yeah. Wow. And that does link to the earlier ones too. Because the thinking and the
but there's more.
Okay. It's like my heart.
I know, man. I'm still like.
Yeah. That was cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's still unpacking.
Yeah. Okay. So we might have to read, go through these. Okay. Let me just go ahead and read. I've got two more. So, the next one is it came in a, not riddle, a poem. Okay. So this is what I got. It's no genie with 3 wishes, but your soul with 1 wish. Make it with deep insight, and you'll multiply your fish. Man, do you know what that's got in it?
Can't really tell.
Will you read it again?
It's no genie with 3 wishes, but your soul with 1 wish. Make it with deep insight, and you'll multiply your fish.
I don't even know how to explain it.
If you had 1 wish, for most people, if you had 1 wish, don't think about what you would wish for in that wish. But after you got that wish, what's your next thinking? You wish you had 1 more wish.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But if you made the proper wish with deep insight, with that 1 wish, you should never want anything ever again.
Right.
Yes. Because that's only 1.
What did Jesus do? He multiplied the fish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he had abundance, and that's really abundance. That's true abundance right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true abundance.
And it's like life is like the genie that tries to trick you out of your wishes, to wasting them.
Mm-hmm. Right. Hence that first line.
Yeah.
It's no genie with 3 wishes. You've got to get past that genie. Because you already have Source's wish.
Yes.
You are Source's wish.
Yes.
You are it. You are Source's wish. And we've just come here to play a game and play the genie's game. Once you say stop with the genie, and you go inside with what we talked about, all the other items, then you can make an insightful, intentful wish that'll multiply all your fish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm no poet.
That's beautiful, though.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. That's very good. I also felt a little bit of your soul with one wish. It's like your soul sitting there waiting for you to find that one wish.
Yes.
It's like sitting there going, turn to me. I have it. Here's what, kind of thing. And we keep turning to the genie. We keep,
well, for those who are, kind of in this, circle, we keep saying about our higher self. Now, I keep saying I'm not the brains of the outfit. My higher self is doing the driving.
Yeah.
But imagine our soul. Our soul is trapped inside our body because we consider it a trap. But it's trying to lead us to the one golden wish that is all we ever need.
Yeah, and when we project that, when we're looking outside of us to see if our butt's too big and just to put our thinking into place,
we're looking away from that wish.
Yeah,
you're hiding yourself away from that wish.
Yeah.
You're hiding not inside, but outside. You're hiding outside from what's inside.
Which is why we often feel abandonment and lack of, because we're outside of it. And when we're trying to feel that lack of love, it's because, and trying to feel it with other things, it's because we are not inside of ourselves. We are not communing with that.
Well, like I did that other list, everything you've ever needed, you brought with you. It's inside you.
Yeah.
There's nothing out there that you need. We're playing a game, and we tell ourselves and that we need to listen to the forces that are here in order to play their game. And because we think that the part of the learning and all that is following their lead, following their direction. And it may have been there for a while, but the whistle's blown. Now is the time to take the game board away from the genie, and actually we're now designing our own game.
Yeah.
How are you going to find out what kind of game you want to play and all that? You got to go inside, take the shovel, go inside, and start finding that one wish that basically will cover everything else you ever need. Wow, it's just
that's big.
That is. It's big.
Yeah. My energy moves through tears, so I keep getting tears.
Oh, I've been purging all week with tears.
This is normal. Anytime I get energy going, it comes out in tears. That's incredible.
All right, so I got one more, and then, like I said, we can go back and address any that pop out at you. Okay, so this was, I say dream. It's probably a succession of dreams. It'll sound familiar to you. I tried manifesting nothing and found myself in a dark void. Then I tried manifesting everything and found myself in a room of light. Since then, I find myself happy to exist between the two.
Say that one again.
Okay. I tried manifesting nothing and found myself in a dark void. Then I tried manifesting everything and found myself in a room of light. Since then, I find myself happy to exist between the two.
This feels personal to me, about how I used to live my life very, unintentionally negative before I started to wake up. And then I learned I didn't want to ever be grounded, and I was, I don't know, like I now live consciously between the 3D and the 5D energy. And I'm cool when I'm in like my life that's not magical. I'm just cool now, and then I love my times when I can be magical, but I'm also okay being totally human sometimes. And I'm fine with what my old life I would have hated, it would have caused me pain, and I would have been stressed out. I would have been, upset about my circumstances. Now I'm always fine in any circumstance, whether it's the happiest, the best, or the what someone would consider the worst. I'm always fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, like, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm wording it correctly. It's not coming out with what I'm trying to convey. I'm not able to convey it.
Well, what I feel when you said that to me, and maybe this is what you're saying, Jenny, I don't know, but what for me is you manifest nothing means life's happening to you. It's in those darker, denser, you're being happened to. You're not manifesting.
Life's living you. You're not living life.
Manifesting everything is when you're source, right? When you're as close. So it's between the two. So we are here. We can dance between manifesting, not manifesting, manifesting, not manifesting.
Mm-hmm.
What came for me as you said that.
We each have the ability to manifest anything we want. In my dream, I said, okay, I'll take that challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I want to manifest nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I went right to a void. There
Mm-hmm.
was nothing in it. There was no light. It was just a dark void. And it scared the you know what out of me because I had no foundation. Mm-hmm. There was no gravity. There was nothing. Mm-hmm. I had no weight.
I remember you talking about this.
Yes.
Dream. Yeah.
Okay. So I had that one. Then I talked to you about the room of light.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's when I manifested. When I manifested everything, all at once, all it was pure light.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was. So in looking at that, I said, well, that's why we're here, is to live between the two. Mm-hmm. That's why we're all here.
Yeah.
So anything you do is magic.
Mm-hmm.
So you're performing magic all the time. You just say the mundane is less magical. Mm-hmm. It's no less magical than you breathing oxygen and us living on this rock flying through space around this star that supposedly produces heat.
Yeah.
But if you're out in space like the astronauts, when they've been out in space and they go to look at the sun, it's not there. Mm-hmm. They have to make etchings in the glass in order for them to actually see something. Because our atmosphere does that for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting.
How many people?
That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not what we're told.
I know.
Yeah. I'm thinking in this existence, because we think not manifesting is we're not getting the things that we want, the good stuff. But we're manifesting always.
Right, yeah, because we're always manifesting something.
So, we haven't experienced in this lifetime not manifesting anything.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Because if we tend to think that manifestation is only what we consider positive things, where if we're here on this life journey to have feelings and to experience things, we're manifesting experiences every moment. The experiences may make us cry, they make us mad, they may make us joyful, but they're all experiences, so we're manifesting those. Mm-hmm. So to not manifest anything, would be interesting to, like you said, you have nothing. That's, the complete void. I can't say I have a perspective on what that would feel like,
I don't, me neither.
There was no hearing. There was no sight. Mm-hmm. There was nothing to smell. There was nothing to taste. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't feel anything. I couldn't even feel my body. There was nothing to feel.
Except for fear, though. You said you felt scared. So you could feel like an internal fear of being scared, though?
Weird or something, didn't you?
No, that's when I was thinking about...
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was void. I was void.
Yeah, because this is manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we have is manifestation.
Yep.
So we're manifesting always.
Yep.
If we were manifesting everything all the time, that's where it's like the light.
It's just light. It's just energy.
There's no definition.
There's no definition.
Of
you got it.
things.
So in order to experience, we have to be between the two.
Yeah.
It's like a dial from one extreme to the other. You got to kind of keep it in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So addressing another thing you talked about, manifesting and how you're manifesting and what you're manifesting. When you go over a friend's house and you're going to go there and have dinner and stay for a while, what's different about being there than being in your own home? What's different about you being there than being at home?
You just can't be as comfortable typically.
How do you operate?
Yeah, you aren't completely just, guard down. You're worried about how it's going to impact the other and interaction with the other.
You give most of your power to your host.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what we're doing here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We came here and we gave the power to the host, which was the Matrix.
It's like, this is your house. Well, we're following the rules of this house.
Right. But now we're all starting to come to realize it's not their house. They stole it. They came in just like we did. They got here before we did, or before we realized that we weren't the host.
It's like, I was thinking it's like, it's actually all of our house.
Yep.
And it's just they got there first or something and said.
But we mistook them.
Yeah. Because they were there first. That
Right.
It's their house. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yep.
That's interesting.
So what's done is done.
Yeah.
But now, what do you do with that?
Yeah.
You basically say, I'm not at someone else's house. I'm in my house. This is my house.
This is my house.
Right?
Yeah.
This is my house. You don't like it? You get that. Yeah.
Yep.
So, what do you do once you realize you're in your own property? Someone tried to convince you that you were in someone else, or maybe they didn't try to convince you. Maybe you just got fooled into believing you were in someone else's house. And now the understanding, the awareness that you are not in someone else's house, but you are actually in your house. What do? You start making it into what you want.
Exactly.
What you want to be. And you stop paying attention to the genie.
Yeah.
Wow. Just amazing how this all goes together. It's just, wow.
And I mean, that reflects back up on the thinking that you hold, is
holding you
in place. I mean, if you have that perspective and that orientation to something, that's going to be it until you have a shift of that orientation in some way. Yeah. Wow. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this is going to be unpacking in my dreams, I think.
Yeah, that's
wow.
Yeah. Part of what has gone on this week or within the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 days is I realized, let's just say she found a way to message me to let me know what I have been describing to her since we've known each other. I described all the pieces, but I hadn't put it all together as far as my symbol, the symbol of my energy. We're both dragons. We know that. We looked up the dragon totem on that, and we were just amazed. But we just looked it up last night.
Yeah, we did.
We never thought to look it up before, but now we look it up, and wow, we're just amazed at what we found. So there's that. But the card that I pulled.
Mm-hmm.
And what we found out, I pulled Coyote.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
very interesting. I can show the card.
It's up to you. I'm just saying
But
it's relevant for me.
Right.
It's not relevant for to them. So, but what it's done though is it's given my voice a symbol that I can now converse with.
Okay.
Instead of being,
it's like your spirit animal.
Yeah, it's like my spirit animal that I can now, as if I had a coyote here with me that found me, and I found, him or her.
Mm-hmm.
And now we can converse with each other and trade ideas and open each other's minds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling so much love. When you started even just looking at him when you're talking about it, I kept feeling so like an intense amounts of love about this whole situation that's gone on.
Yeah. It's really interesting because it was also, I was completely listening to my soul in how that all unfolded anyway, because just the way in which from the time I ordered the cards and got just everything about it was just constant, just kind of do this and then do this and then, wait, hold this. And, just the whole way. I had never engaged my brain at one time in it. It was all energy the whole time. And it was fascinating and it was humbling, and it wasn't me. It was my soul, me, and through his higher self, or his higher self through my soul.
Okay, but there was more to it than this. It was more than me just picking a card.
Yes.
We picked a card, and then we had some other things that happened around that time that made us look beyond the coyote. And when we did, we went and looked up some just kind of on a wing and a prayer. We looked up coyote with another thing that we found, and we were trying to see. It was two things that you wouldn't put together. They were two completely different things. They don't belong together. We looked them up, and we found a legend
that had them both in the legend.
Now, the legend itself was not that important. It was the key words that they were in there that should not have been there. But they were very, very meaningful to both of us.
Yeah.
And it was almost like unlocking the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Wow.
And it was interesting because, as I'm sitting here with it, it was kind of like a confirmation of the way in which we both went about that whole thing, because the way that I speak from my angle of it, if you will, the way I was walking through that was in complete and utter total respect and tapped into his experience of what was happening. So it was like I actually saw what was, like the next step while he was still basking in the first step. But it was like something was like, just leave it, just wait. And then he, got to the point, and then I was like, okay, well, there's this, and then it was like, and then it was, and there's this, but it wasn't like I didn't own it. And even to the point that I was pushing one of them away, and I heard, what are you doing? What are you doing? It was like that message. And I'm like, okay. So I just sat there and waited. So it was a complete unfolding of the whole experience. And then to have that legend, have those keywords, and it was like a confirmation for the whole experience and how I was feeling and how I was like being, I don't want to say obedient, but following that without the brain. And the messages you were getting, it was really interesting, the whole thing.
Yeah. So the way I would word what you're saying is you allowed yourself to participate in something that you had no foreshadowing for. You had no idea was coming. And by letting go and not trying to control the narrative, it couldn't have been better.
It was beautiful. Yeah, it was beautiful.
If you had taken 1 ounce of your brain and put it in there,
it would have ruined it.
It would have ruined the whole thing.
Yeah. It was just pure allowing and completely pure allowing and unfolding. That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Incredible.
It was the actual symbols are not that important. They wouldn't be to anyone else, but they spoke to us. And she got to participate in such a manner that she saw her own participation interfering or not interfering, and she chose not interfering, but also adding to it, being a part of it by adding to it. And I did not. I wanted her right there and did not want to outpace her. So I wasn't going through it alone. I was bringing her along and wanting her to participate.
Yeah.
Without her there, it would have been not hollow, but it would have been more hollow than just if it had just happened to me.
Yeah, because it's something, when something happens like that to you, words don't describe it. And unless you're kind of in that energy bubble feeling it, which I would have had the opportunity to do, then it's you share it indifferently. Than if you had done it on your own and trying to explain it to me or describe it to me, or it's complete different interaction.
Yeah, the impression I got, and not right away because I was so in awe of what was going on, and that lasted hours.
Yeah, it did.
But now, when I've had chance for my heart rate to come back from the stratosphere, is that we're all going to go through this.
Yes.
We're all going to dive into nothing.
Yep. And I think for me, it's calling us back to this. It's not a genie with 3 wishes. It's your soul with 1 wish.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I found more by not looking than I did from looking.
Yeah, we were playing. We were actually playing. That the way we started that whole thing was we were playing. Yeah. We didn't have any expectation. There wasn't a discussion going on, a serious thing. It wasn't anything like that. We were playing.
It's just the
way we weren't looking, but we found.
Without either one of us planning, the way it just fell into place, step by step by step by step, was just the most beautiful artwork and music, sound healing. It was all in it.
It was all wrapped up. Yeah. And it goes back to if you're looking, you stop searching.
Yeah,
the one,
that's the one I was referring to. I found more from not looking than I ever did find from looking. Because we were calm.
Yeah, we were. We were
completely calm. We didn't even know anything was going on. And I thought I was just picking a card.
We were just playing.
Yeah. So, I think most people have played around with some form of the oracle cards or whatnot and pick something and whatnot. It's the not looking.
Yeah, you're not expecting it to tell you something.
Yeah, I wasn't. She just bought the cards, and I'm not necessarily placating her.
You were just
but I was just kind of shuffling the cards, And I said, well, nothing's coming out. And you even said, you might just have to pick one out. Because nothing would fall out.
Nothing was falling
I was doing it for a while. Nothing would fall out. And she said that, and I shuffled maybe 1 or 2 more, and one popped out.
Yeah.
And not only did it pop out, but it landed right against my chest.
Yeah. Well, and I wasn't worried about, oh, he thinks this is stupid, or he doesn't like the cards. I mean, I wasn't thinking any of that. I was just sitting and watching him shuffle, and I was like, this is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. My boyfriend, he placates me with cards sometimes, and every time he's like, oh my gosh, it blows his mind. And sometimes he's been brought to tears. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't like, I mean, he's just not into it like I am. But every time he does, and it's placating me, it ends up blowing his mind.
Mm. Yeah, it was really pretty interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. It's been an interesting week. Yeah, he was telling me, I don't see the list before the calls, and he came out and we were getting ready to come in here, and he's like, well, we'll see how this goes. The list is evolving, it's just changing, you know. This is the
third time.
It's completely different in nature.
I get the list and went, I don't even get it. But I kept saying, I trust my counsel. Mm-hmm. I trust my counsel. Mm-hmm. So I had to eliminate a lot, or not eliminate, but just didn't include it because I got so much. Mm-hmm. Because all this came in impressions. And then I had to add my wording and analogy and phraseology and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But I didn't pick the order.
Mm-hmm. No.
The council picked the impression and the order. And then when an item would come in, I would try to wrap myself around it. And each one is much more involved of wrapping myself around it than it ever was before.
Mm-hmm. What I get a feeling of is, like, I know whenever I've been, like, when we've been in a discussion, or I've been in a discussion, you know, with the sisters, or, you know, just reading something, you get an understanding, and then I'll go to bed, and in that twilight of waking up or going to sleep, it's like other understandings of it. And that's what I get the feeling of, like, these, I've just, like, put them inside of myself, and it's going to be interesting to see how they, like, open up either in my dream time or as I'm walking through the day. I just know there's so many layers to those, because it's like I can feel it. I can feel it. It's the best way I can say it. But yeah, that it's so deep and wide, each of those.
So do any of them
miss the mark?
No, well, if they do, say so.
Not
but
at all.
Do any of these cry out for more attention from either one of you? Like, does this manifestation make my butt look good?
That one keeps popping back into my head.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just amazing that that's the starting point.
Uh-huh.
And that we end it this way. It's almost...
Yeah, it's almost a circle.
It's a spiral.
Yeah,
it just spirals. Each one just spirals around, and they're all connected. Mm-hmm. You take one loop of the spiral out, and the spiral kind of collapses.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we think thoughts like, is this going to make me look crazy? Or does that, I mean, it's the same kind of thing. Does this make me look big?
Well, like, even me wanting to go on Facebook because I know my posts are heavy, to explain to everybody, like, who cares? Like, why do I care what everybody thinks? If I'm posting something that I want to post in the moment because I have a feeling, because I'm just being my authentic self. And then I was like, oh, wow, well, my family might think I'm depressed because they don't get it. It's like, why did I feel the need to have to go on Facebook and say, hey, I'm okay, I'm cool, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, wow. Mm-hmm. That was cool. Thanks, your counsel.
They are quite enjoying this. Let's just say the council, because I have the the round table of the council, and then I have the gallery around it for any being who wants to just be a part of it, and it's gotten quite huge. The attendees are it's too many to count. I don't know how many there are.
Yeah.
And it's not always the same people. It's people coming in and out, and so I don't necessarily see faces unless I focus in, but it's just a crowd.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you're getting the information, when you do it, do you know who you're going to be having the call with at that time, or who you're going to be having the information, so they know it's going to be me with you guys when it's that information specific to us. This.
The way it works is I go into council and they're sitting around a circular table, and above them is like a drop screen. And in that drop screen, I picture who the attendees are going to be, including myself. So this time I pictured you first, then I pictured Gina, then I pictured myself. And that energy is kind of swirling above the round table. And that's usually what I do before I put a list together. I typically feel the energy of the participants up on that screen. That's just symbolic for me, so that my council can at least get my intent. They read my intent and they send me things, because they're sending me things all the time now. But these are things that I'm intending for this video with these participants.
And it's interesting because the way that it's worded, or the way that it is magic, because the way that it's worded and the way the council gives it to you, you don't know. I mean, you've said, I don't know how this is going to hit, but then it'll unlock something, like it'll trigger something in one of us that's listening or participating. It's amazing because it's almost like packaged and it's a gift, but it's not direct, like saying you need to do this or you need to do that. But it's when you do that, when they give it to you, and then you craft the way you capture that impression, then it unlocks something in us.
Yeah. Well, the awesome way that they've put it together, or I've put it together, is that I get to participate. They're not just reading things off and I'm writing, and I'm just writing it down.
It's not channeled.
I don't get words from them. I get an impression, and then I have to wield my magic and put the words. And the words are, each word is chosen. It's not like I willy-nilly throw down some English to try to capture something. Just the word choice and the word order can you swap these two, even though it can say, the sentence can say the same thing, and you break the magic.
Yeah,
these are things.
It's like a spell almost.
Right. These are things that really good lyrists and really good poets and really good writers know how to capture people's imaginations and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
They're wielding magic.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all have the capability.
Definitely.
But we also all have crap in the way to prevent us from wielding that magic.
Yeah. It kind of feels like magic to unlock the magic that we have ourselves locked into.
No.
It's like word magic is used on us in our thinking and in our programming that locks us into this reality, and it's using magic to unlock the magic that we've locked ourselves in with.
Well, for the longest time, through who knows countless reincarnations here on this planet for each one of us, our higher selves were further away. They were far away. How do I know the whistle's blown? Because now they're like right here.
Yeah.
They're right here, and they're trying to show us, but they believe in free will. They don't want to ruin all the previous reincarnations.
Right.
Just to end the game, or just to go to the next phase. They want us, as seamlessly as possible, bring everyone over into the next phase of the game, so that we don't ruin the reality. Because that's what we're all about, is as agents of Source, experiencing reality for Source, and then bringing it back to Source, so that Source can can have that experience.
Mm-hmm. And that feels like the living in the middle. You're living in the manifesting, non-manifesting.
That's what
because
that
if
is.
we're all source, it's all light. If we're in that middle. We're here as source experiencing this.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're all out here wielding magic.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you know it or not, you're constantly wielding magic.
Yep.
Whether you're following your own directive or you're following someone else's, it's still your magic that's being wielded. At some point, which I think is already happening, mm-hmm. We start to take back our power, our magic, instead of wielding it for who we thought was the host.
Yeah.
We now realize, no, I'm the host.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now I'm going to wield it for me
mm-hmm.
and make it the best that I can for me. And inside me includes the concept of paying it forward. And I would never want to get somewhere that I thought was joy, happiness, and bliss and all the good things, and no one else be there.
Right.
I want everyone else to be
lonely.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. That would not be my what I'd want to manifest.
So each one of us is powerful, and we'll get there. But imagine how much more powerful we are if we all pool our resources.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're in the process of doing right now.
Yeah.
It's like we're always giving it away at first, and then once you learn how to bring it back, then you get to discern where you want to put it.
Yeah.
And then you can be trusted with things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no one tells you where to manifest, but in order to get that far, you have to realize you are manifesting, and
mm-hmm.
where you've been sinking your energies into,
mm-hmm.
and start to pull it back and employ it not for someone else's benefit, but now employ it for you. Forgive them. You need
mm-hmm.
the only way you're going to take back that power is to forgive them, not demand
mm-hmm.
their arrest or their execution or whatnot, because
mm-hmm.
you're just sinking more energy into that boat anchor
mm-hmm.
tied back to them. You need to sever it. That's releasing them. Release yourself. Your apology. Your forgiveness of them is not for them.
It's for freeing yourself. Yeah.
That's the card. That's the ancestor card, or the ancient ones card that I've pulled 2 days in a row, was about that very thing. If you want to know who you're going to be in the next 10,000 years, release and forgive
mm-hmm.
all those that are, that's holding it. What's holding you back.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
We each are, well, I've said it before,
mm-hmm.
we're each a spark or a shard of source.
Mm-hmm.
A fractal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so each of us is a shard of source. When it all comes back together, think about what it's going to create.
Mm-hmm.
We're all one because we're all one of the
mm-hmm.
thing that we broke apart
mm-hmm.
into these shards,
mm-hmm.
so that we could experience many, many, many different types of realities,
mm-hmm.
and when we bring it back, part of bringing it back is coming back together.
Yeah.
And once we do, that is source. That is giving source all these experiences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if we don't come back together, then we're just linger out here
mm-hmm.
with all this experience that we've collected, and it not really serving anybody's purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of time, like
mm-hmm.
I said.
Yeah, that was from last one. Yeah,
the one from Mandy.
Yeah, just a matter of time.
Just a matter of time.
Matter of no time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, that's good. I feel complete right now. It feels like
mm-hmm.
my I'm going to be getting gifts from this one for a few days. That's what I feel.
I think so too. I know, me too.
Yeah. So thank you.
That was good.
That was good. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just after last night, I mean, it's that I was wiped. Last night I was, when I went to bed, it was.
Wow.
Did you hear that?
No, I just saw you guys like both at the same time. Like,
oh my gosh.
I can't wait for you to see it on the video.
That was a turboprop plane, probably a C-130, flew right over our house.
It sounded very close.
Yeah, like it was right on top of us.
I've never heard it that low.
Never heard a plane that low.
Surveillance.
Wow. You can knock it, but you can't come in.
Are we all complete?
We're working on it.
Yeah, we are.
I don't want to work on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to allow it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Allow. That was one thing. Actually, Sophia's daily thing was allow today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what it's all about. It's if you have to work for it, or if you have to reach for it, or do anything for it,
Look for it.
yeah, you're just moving further away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's all inside you. You just have to let it come out.
Yep.
No,
Because that's lack. Working for something that you don't have is constantly showing that you don't have it, to it being in a state of lack all the time.
and don't worry about if your butt looks big.
Hey, I like to work that big butt.
Yeah. And in case anyone does, I mean, I'm sure people already know.
Yeah.
I write the list items in the description.
Mm-hmm.
So while you're watching it, you can see not only the order of them, but each list item.
Yeah, we always put it below.
In order to follow along. So these are getting deeper and deeper. So I'm trying to put the right verbiage there.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them are, quite long.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. But
well, I always look forward to these talks, but today I just couldn't wait to get on. Yeah, I mean, it like in a different way. I was so excited to just be on tonight and see you guys.
Yeah, it's good to be.
Got everything done. Everything flowed with my kids' routine. Like it couldn't have flowed better tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
Well, each one of these lists that we do for videos has what's needed for all those, for the people that are participating.
Mm-hmm.
So when we did the one with Sheila, Lisa, you, and me,
Mm-hmm.
it had something for all four people.
Mm-hmm.
Then when we did the one with Mandy, it had something for all three of us.
Mm-hmm.
Now this one, it has something for each one of us.
I see the council all applauding right now.
Yeah.
They're getting it.
People who are watching the video.
That's what I was going to say. For those that click on this video, out of all the videos, they're drawn to watch it, and there'll be something in there for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because what these really are, they're activations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Magic to activate.
Mm-hmm.
Like attunements.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice.
All righty.
Fun times. Okay. Hold on just a second, Jenny. I'm going to stop the recording. Bye, everybody.
Bye.